Hi, this is Enzo once again, and thank you for watching my SEnuke X SEO training. This is module number 3, and I would like to share with you this very important module because this is where I would share with you the best practices to prepare and to use your SEnuke X. Just some points to ponder here. Please don't use what tons of internet marketers are using for their SEO campaigns, especially how you use SEnuke. If you're competing with hundreds, if not thousands of internet marketers who use the same process, who use the same tools, and who use the same techniques, what would happen is you will leave a footprint for the search engines to find out for your websites, just like what happened to the link whales, to the link pyramids. So the best thing that you can do with SEnuke is to develop your own SEO strategy. What I'm going to present here today is a simple strategy so that you'll be able to understand the best features of what SenukeX X can offer. Probably the biggest thing that I could share why SenukeX is very successful in helping my websites rank higher in the search engines, particularly my own enzoewens.com website, where I was able to rank SenukeX X and several terms for that very competitive keyword. The reason that I was able to do that is still because of the on-page optimization stuff that I did. Another thing that I did was the off-page optimization was very planned. I actually created that way before SenukeX X is released, allowing me to create the domain age and the domain time that is needed to rank for a very competitive phrase or keyword. Now, as I have said before in the SEO mindset in our module 1, you have to be realistic with your SEO goals. If your SEO goals is to rank overnight for a very particular or a very competitive keyword, then SEO is not for you, because basically that will not happen. Even with black hat techniques, that won't help you rank overnight, because Google and the search engines are becoming more and more, and they're becoming aware of what is happening with the SEO field, and they also know that there are tools and there are techniques out there that can game the system. So SenukeX X, my primary recommendation is still not to use this tool to game the system or to abuse the search engines, because basically you won't succeed. But what if you use SeNuke the proper way? What could happen is you could still get top rankings for months or even for years to come. I still have my 2008 websites and my 2009 websites still ranking on the first page of the search engines for a very particular or for a very competitive keyword where I haven't or where I did just a little maintenance backlinks just to make sure that I maintain the top search engine positions. And another primary consideration that I want to share with you is to never share your SEO niche. You do this for your own websites, especially for your clients' websites. Confidentiality, and the reason you don't want to share your niche is because Google might find out, or the search engines might find out that you have been that you are trying to game the search engines or the system, and it could actually be detrimental to your success. Now, for SeNuke X, what we would like to do here is to understand the modules, and this is how I actually do my SEO campaigns. I've been handling more than SEO clients in the past few versions of SeNuke, and with the release of SeNuke 10, I plan to handle more than 50 clients to 100 clients at a single time. And I have found out that this is the best way for me to do this. Number one, I don't use the wizard to create my campaigns. The reason that I don't use the wizard to create my campaigns is the wizard is being used by hundreds, if not thousands, of internet marketers. And as I have said before, if you're using the same methods, the same techniques, you're going to leave a footprint that could eventually get your websites in trouble. So the first thing that you need to do is to try to do it all manual, or to try to do your own diagram, or to try to do your own strategy. But I'm going to give you very important pointers here that could eventually help you out in your SEnuke campaigns. So the first thing that you need to do if you just got your SeNuke X is to basically create your very first campaign. Now, there are several ways to use the campaign. One is to separate it into per website. Another is to separate it per month or per week, whatever you think would be best, or the availability of your time. But the very first thing that you need to do before you can do any of these submissions and automation is, of course, to create your accounts. So if you have seen other videos of SEnuke, what they do is they create a website and then that's their campaign. But if you're starting out with SEnuke, start with the account creation, please. The reason that I told you to start with the account creation is because you need to let your account stay untouched for a few days. What do I mean by that? So for example, you created your, let's say website number 1. Okay, this is the accounts that I will be creating for my website number 1. So let's just say, let's put something. This is my enzoewens.com. Okay, another way to do my account creation is I make sure I put the domain here, just for it, so that I could easily check what accounts I have created one. And I also put a letter beside this. Okay, the reason I put a letter is because I want it to group, like group A, group B, group B. You could actually use a number, or you could use a letter. Okay, and the next thing that you need to do here is go to your accounts creation. Okay, you have to create generate random profile, and you can create a pre-downloaded Hotmail. So that's the number 1 preferred, and that's actually the fastest way to get a new email. Okay, and after the account creation, okay, so let's just pause for a while. Okay, now that we have created our new random profile, okay, I want you to save it first here. Okay, I usually save it again with the website so that I know that this profile is related to my account. Okay, and then I number it with like social account 01, so I know that this is my first social account. So you can actually use a variable of things, but here's what I would like you to understand with the profiles. Think of it as person. One profile is a person. So one person has all accounts at all of these different websites. Okay? So imagine this. If you're Google or you're the search engines and you would like to know which is the most relevant website that you're going to rank for a particular keyword, would you rather have lots of people pointing, or the backlinks pointing to a particular domain, or would you rather have just one website or one profile or one person pointing to a specific domain? Who are you going to rank? The one that is being promoted by hundreds or not multiple personalities or multiple people, or one that is promoted by just one person? Definitely you will look at the multiple persons or the multiple promotions by other people as the more relevant, because of the number. Generally, more people promoting you, more it makes more sense that you're the one who is more relevant to the search engines. Okay, so the next thing is, so what I do here okay, is I actually create several personalities. Okay, so instead of just creating one first name and one last name, as you can see here, I created 5 first names and 5 last name variations. The purpose for this one is I would have multiple usernames and accounts here. So for example, in hub pages, the first name would be John Tundra or Jan Santos or Jan Silva. Okay, so what happens is every social networking account and every article directory will have different names. Now, don't worry if you're just using the email address. Don't worry if you'll be found by the search engines if you're the same. My personal opinion is not, simply because the IP address would be detected by the domain, which means the hub pages has a different domain, the wiki spaces has a different domain, the blogspot. Okay, but if you want to do if you just want to create hundreds of profiles, it's up to you, but this is how I do it. So I also put the keyword that I would like to rank for in my username. Here it's SEnuke X software, and I also put a number here, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now the reason I put a number here is because every accounts that will be created will have either, okay, let's just look at this for a while. It will always have the keyword SEnuke, which is the term that I would like to rank for, and sometimes it will have the letter X. And as you can see here, I just put pipe and then nothing, and then I just put up another close bracket, okay, and then the software, okay, and it will also choose a number between 0 to 9 for twice. So it would either be SEnuke X software 1, 2, SEnuke software 1, 2, 3. So it's actually up to you, but I would suggest that you create some variations, you add a number in the username. Okay, the next thing that you need to do, of course, is to schedule it. Okay, but don't start it yet if you're creating multiple account creations. Remember, create one account per website that you're trying to dominate or trying to rank for. So if you have 10 websites that you're trying to manage, you have to create 10 accounts. Okay, so let's just assume that we're just creating 1 or 2 accounts for today's lesson. So the first thing that you need to do here is to schedule your project. I forgot to check. Okay, so you check the accounts that you would like to be created. But what I do is, if you're not doing video submissions, don't check it, because it will just be consuming your captcha and your time. But if you would like to create accounts in all of the websites, it's not a problem. I usually don't use the web profile sites. I'm still testing it, but probably I'll be using it someday. But for now, I'll create all of the accounts on this 5 properties. Okay. So what you need to do is, I want you to schedule it, because we're going to use the powerful scheduling feature of SEnuke, and we don't want to be managing and looking at SEnuke X all at the same time, always. Okay. So the next thing that you need to do is schedule your project. Okay. Now, if you want to schedule your project, I would suggest that you start it at about after maybe an hour. If you're going to manage 10 or you're going to add 10 accounts after an hour, start it after, because you don't want it to start while you're still doing something. Although SenukeX X can actually do that. So what you would like to do, we'll just increase this a little bit, and I want you to create account all at the same time, and I don't want you to spread your submission. We'll use that later on when we actually post our articles. So you can now close this one. As you can see here, our account will be created at 11:15 today. Okay, And okay, if you're going to add another account, the reason that I said that you need to create accounts first and you don't need to submit the next few days, because if you imagine if there are hundreds of or thousands of people using SEnuke, and what the usual steps that they do is they get SEnuke, they create accounts, they use Wizard, and they actually submit their pinned articles all at the same time, and that is why your accounts are getting banned easily using the Web 2.0 properties, is because your websites or your accounts have been marked as spam, and they have been moderated and they have been removed by the administrators. So we want to avoid that, and we don't want to spam the Web 2.0 properties, because these properties would be if you actually take care of them, they would actually get a high page rank sooner or later. And I will reveal to you two of these properties that are very, very important, that you have to be very careful, but to be very careful in posting and in posting your articles on this site, because if you actually grow these properties, you would actually have a very powerful high page rank blog network that you could always use anytime you need some boost for your search engines. So the next thing that you need to do here is to use your toolbox. Okay, the reason we need to use the toolbox is because after the account has been created, okay, you need to make sure that if you're creating another account, you are not using the same IP. This is the number one reason many people are not getting good results with their IP submissions or with their account creations. The primary reason is because you are competing with hundreds, if not thousands, of the premium proxies. So the best thing that you could do is buy your own premium proxy, and you have to enter it here, but that would cost you about $30 to $60 a month. You can actually enter it here, the proxy settings, or you can enter your custom proxy which you have bought from in your private proxies. Okay, but you can actually use your proxy settings using SEnuke. So what I would recommend first, if you're trying to be on a little bit of budget, would be to use the premium proxies of SEnuke as much as possible. But if you're getting lots of accounts that are not being created in the account creation module, it's time for you to buy either a premium proxy or a VPN, or a virtual private network. Now VPNs work differently with proxies. They're actually better in terms of getting your IP, because you actually have less competition, but you get this ugly error when you try to open a browser if you use if you just use proxies from SEnuke. But if you use your own proxy, you won't get that, and with virtual private networks, you won't get the errors that I just showed you a while ago. So the next thing that you need to do is to renew your cache. So just make sure, open this up, check on the cache, check on the change proxy, click on the schedule, and you want to start the project as soon as the account creation has been completed. Okay, so Enzo Events account creation number 1 is complete. What will happen is we want SEnuke to renew our cache and create a new IP, or get a new IP for your next account creation. So that's the next thing that you need to do. So let's say I would like to create a new website, or I would like to create a new account for this website. So for example, I would like to boost SenukeX.com, but I won't do that, of course. Don't boost your competitors, but if you want to, you'll help them with their search engine rankings. Well, actually, SenukeX.com is not my competition. It's actually this product that I promote and I love. So if you haven't gotten yet your one-time payment or a lifetime license, I don't want you to regret, but it's up to you. Okay, well anyway, so download the account again and repeat the process. So I'll skip this video and we'll go to the next part of this module. Okay, so I'm done getting my new email address from Hotmail for my second account creation. This is the second website that I'm trying to boost. So for example, the website that I would like to schedule next for my SEnuke campaign would be SenukeX.com. So you need to include, of course, at least 5. Of course, more is better. Oops. Check your syntax if you have pipes or you have the close parentheses, because it would be very time consuming to correct them once you got something wrong with your syntax. So SEO training, S, pipe, nothing. So sometimes it will include S and sometimes it will not include the S, and then random number from this selection. So next thing that you need to do here is, of course, to schedule your campaign. So we would like this to run after the cache. So after we got the new IP, we don't want this to run after the account creation because we haven't cleared the IP yet. Okay, so that is what you would like to do. Okay. And then click on the close button. As you can see here, it will create an account and then it will clear the cache. So create another one because we want to clear the cache for your next submission. So if you want to add another website, okay, just make sure, please don't forget, you will be able to see it here. If it is scheduled or if it's scheduled to run, something will be shown at this part. So we want the IP or the toolbox to run after the creation of the accounts for the SenukeX.com. So basically, this is how you do your very first use of SEO, or this is how I do it. So if you want to follow what I am doing, okay, I'm very glad that you did, and this will help you get organized, because if you're going to be managing 10s, 20 or 30 SEO campaigns and you don't have some sort of organization, it's very easy to become confused with the tool, because as I have told you before, this is a very powerful SEO tool, and this is also a very dangerous tool if you don't know what you are doing. So this is my desire, so that I could actually share you the best practices on using SenukeX. So on our next video, after the account creation of this account, which I'm going to leave for a few minutes, okay, I'm going to show you how to run your first SenukeX campaigns. See you in the next video, and this is Enzo signing out for Module 3. Stay tuned for our next video update on Module 4.